And of course, if you love the music of Bowie, there's a treat in store at the Gloucester Guildhall later this month when Sound and Vision, the David Bowie tribute show, hits the stage on Saturday the 29th of July. Delighted to say joining us this afternoon is Chris Book, singer, David Bowie alike, and Gareth Addy, who's a drummer. Actually, we'll find out which drummer. It can be any drummer. There's a number of drummers over the years. Chris, Gareth, thank you ever so much for joining us on the programme.
Pleasure.
Hello. Thank you ever so much. To you then, as Bowie fans, let's start with you, Chris. What does it mean today then, hearing that this is the 50th anniversary of when there was no more Ziggy Stardust?
I think it's absolutely amazing. I can't believe where all the time's gone. I'm a huge fan of Bowie's ever since I was a kid, and I can remember seeing that film first time around, and it was so exciting because I'd never seen him on stage, of course. So to be able to see the film, that was something else. And I now believe they've got some new edits and some new cuts in there, so I'll be going along to see it again.
Brilliant. So you're going to go along tonight, are you?
I will do my best to do that. I've got some other commitments, but I think I might be able to get out of those.
Yeah, squeeze through. And for you, Gareth, I mean, where does your love of Bowie come from?
Well, I'm a little bit late. I'm a little bit younger than Chris. You won't mind me saying, but I sort of grew up in Bowie already being a fan. But my mum was really into him and all the glam rock sort of area, so I got brought up on it. So yeah, I really enjoy playing his music now. So it's great for me.
Brilliant. And Chris, I mean, he kept reinventing himself, didn't he? And this was, I guess one of the keys to his successes and how he found new fans over his career. How big a part does the Ziggy part play in your show? Do you get dressed up, or do you kind of stay with a particular era and then be Bowie playing those songs? How does it work for you?
Okay, well, for us, it's really about the music. We think the Bowie songs were so inventive and so crucial. So it's really about the music, and we put on a very dynamic, high-energy show. We do certainly give a nod to the costumes, things like the Live Aid, the iconic blue suit that he wore in Live Aid, and the Alexander McQueen Union Jack coat that gets an appearance. So we certainly give a nod to that, but it's very much about the show and the high energy music and sharing his brilliant work with the audience.
And Gareth, how does the music change, do you think, through his career stylistically?
Well, I mean, obviously the early stuff's a lot more guitar influenced and rock based. Like Chris was saying, we're a very sort of visual band. There's a lot of energy there, and I sometimes sit at the back of the drums watching five guys flying on the stage in front of me, and then the audience dancing in the aisles across that, and that energy really comes through. But then you get into the more sort of synth pop stuff of his later career, and that's fun to play for me as a drummer. And I've got to use an electronic pad for some things because, some of the sounds he had were quite unusual. Definitely an innovator, and that's really interesting for me to play.
Absolutely. And the Ziggy stuff, I mean, it is glam rock, basically, isn't it, as it went on to become bigger and bigger throughout the 70s?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Very, very glam. He was certainly one of the innovators at the start of that, him and Mark Bolan. And that's what certainly got me into it. Things when I heard the Ziggy Stardust album, my brother brought it home, my older brother, and we'd never heard anything quite like that. In fact, my parents hated it, so we knew it was cool then. So, I've loved him ever since. Ever since those first chords of Ziggy, I've been a fan. I've been hooked.
Yeah, the tone of that BBC reporter on Nationwide back in 1973 says it all, doesn't it? He just doesn't get it at all. He just doesn't. No. What are all these kids queuing for? What's the fuss about? He's only just said he's not going to go on and Ziggy Stardust again. What are they on about? But
that's right.
I guess, Gareth, it's like Chris on stage one night just telling you I don't know, you're going to turn into a Kiss tribute act rather than a Bowie tribute act live on stage. He just literally said to his band that night and the fans, "This is it, no more."
I'm just hoping he doesn't pull a Hammersmith on us after the gig in Gloucester. To be honest, that wouldn't be fun. But no, I hope it doesn't stop. I'm really enjoying it at the moment, and as the rest of us,
it's great fun.
It's great
fun.
Yeah,
it's great fun with the audiences. They're fantastic.
So do you do festivals as well as the theatres? What sort of things you got lined up this summer?
We've got a stack of gigs in front of us. We're in Harlow, Swansea, Taunton, Gloucester, Haverfordwest. But we're even doing Dubai, I think, in November.
Wow.
And we've got a few concerts coming up in Swansea, the Jopo Festival, and the Solver Edge Festival. So yeah, we're quite booked.
And how hard is it to sing Bowie, Chris? Because obviously, as the styles changed, the music changed, his voice changed slightly as well. How hard is it to actually recreate that?
Don't find it hard at all, and that's probably because I was so passionate about Bowie when I was younger. I think I listened to him almost exclusively, really. So if I was a guitarist and I liked Eric Clapton, I'd probably try and play in Eric Clapton's style. Whereas as a singer, as a vocalist, listening to all the Bowie tracks, every nuance, every word, I hang on his every word. It just became sort of natural for me. And then as I moved through his progression, like he did, from glam rock to plastic soul and so on, I just followed those things. It was just natural for me to sing that way. So, and I love it. I don't find it a strain. I just absolutely love it.
Do you see a bit of face paint in the crowd, in the audience every now and then as well?
Oh yeah, we see all sorts. It's great because you have such a wide range because it's a long career from older people right to younger people, and some people go the whole hog and they dress up, and that just makes it so much more fun for us as well. Where it's almost like we're watching a show too because the audience are up and they're dancing in the aisles and they wear the crazy costumes and things. It's absolutely wonderful.
And you've got the best seat in the house, really, Gareth, because you can see it all. You can see your guys in front of you. You can see the crowd out there as well. Which are the songs you look forward to? Because you know full well that everyone's going to really love them and get up and dance and go crazy.
I think Rebel Rebel usually gets people up, and Genie never fails. But personally, I like playing Hang On to Yourself because we really let loose in that one, and we've got some brilliant musicians in the band, and they all get a chance to shine in that one. So that's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, get you a little bit of drum solo in there.
I try not to. I'll get a look. I'm being myself.
And Chris, I mean, obviously, as things like this 50th anniversary, ignite interest again. And I guess you've probably seen that as you kind of travel around and little anniversaries come up, people kind of hatch their onto little things about Bowie's career that they want to particularly come and see. I guess now people are talking about Ziggy at the moment. You might find a few more people thinking, oh, I can't wait for Starman.
Yeah, absolutely. They love to come up afterwards and share stories. We share our stories with them. They share their stories with us of where they saw him, when they first saw him. So it's almost like a big, huge fan club, and we're a part of that too. So yeah, it's very much. Last year was Bowie's 75, and we celebrated that. We weren't sure whether that was going to be just a one-year thing for us, but it just took off. And we're just going to keep going until. Whilst we're all enjoying it and the audience are enjoying it, we're just going to keep going.
Absolutely, great. What can people expect then at the end of this month? What are we going to? Saturday, 29th of July. You're at the Gloucester Guildhall. What sort of show? What sort of show can people expect?
Well, everything, all the big hits. Right from Ziggy right the way through, all the main hits, a lot of the popular album tracks as well. They can expect high energy. We have sometimes we have videos playing in the background as well, sort of a video wall. Great lighting show. They can expect an evening of unadulterated Bowie. Really, it's just all Bowie.
Brilliant. Well, at your Guildhall, you've got a sprung dance floor in there, so there's no excuse for everybody to get up and enjoy themselves. It's quite good fun.
I look forward to that.
It's quite good fun. You can feel the whole thing moving. So if you're at that Genie, you feel those opening chords of that, and then that place will be bouncing quite literally. So
I can't wait.
Have a great night in Gloucester. Thank you ever so much for joining us on the programme, and enjoy the summer. Take care. Thank you ever so much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Chris Burke, Gareth Addy from Sound and Vision, the David Bowie tribute show on the way to the Gloucester Guildhall, July the 29th. That's Saturday night. Starts at 7:30, goes through until 11, and tickets available, of course, from the Guildhall box office. We need to do a bit of this then, don't we? From the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, the unmistakable Starman.